So if you care to find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves the chance to fly.
Crashes into the earth.
Have I changed for the better?
Okay, you're not singing the whole song, okay? You're not doing that. It is 4 o'clock in the morning.
Have I been changed
Shut
for good?
up!
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Charming Analysis podcast. I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
It is very fucking late at night, so we're going to try and...
Why? Why are we doing these things? You still do them late at night, even though I tell you not to do them late at night. Because
you agreed to this one.
I did.
You agreed to this one.
I did, but...
Don't worry, we won't be doing it as often, hopefully. It depends. Anyway, welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be talking about something I've been wanting to talk about for the last 2 fucking years. We're going to be talking about the movie Wicked and the new movie that came out last year, Wicked for Good, because it's basically 2 parts. So we're basically covering the entirety of the new Wicked. So why don't you explain what Wicked is about for those who don't know?
Well, it's about every single time someone tries to tell an anti-story saying, oh, what if we told this from the bad guy's perspective? And this is just, oh, what if we told this from the Wicked Witch's perspective and how she wasn't so bad and all that stuff. From the original Wizard of Oz from... What is it, 1939? I wonder if I got that right. I don't know.
I'll look it up.
I wonder if I did get that right. That'd be funny if I did.
1939.
Yeah, I did. You know why? Because I got that because we watched that in the theater class. But
yes, for those who don't know, if you guys know what Wizard of Oz is, it's pretty much already... You guys already know what it is, but basically it's the prequel to that. In a sense, it's basically what happens before the Wizard of Oz.
I guess it's someone's
it's
someone's fan fiction. Someone's anti-hero fan fiction.
First there was Oz's origin, then there's this, and then there's Wizard of Oz.
I don't understand why they keep doing these when we have to learn about every fucking thing. I don't see the reason, and I think that it was trying to be pointless in telling multiple stories, and it didn't need to be a franchise. Like it was just like Wizard of Oz. That's it. Well, because no movie has been good. Nothing has been good besides the original Wizard of Oz in movie format.
I will say this though, that they did have other books.
I know they did have other books.
I'm surprised they haven't adapted those at this point.
I don't know. Maybe because the original one is just so tight, and like it's a very beloved. It's one of the most beloved movies of all time. So and that is everyone has been trying to copy it. There's no other interpretation. Because everyone wants to copy the first one. Because it was already perfect and groundbreaking. Like, nobody else wants to do any other version besides something connecting it back to the original.
Anyway, we're talking about...
It's kind of like... well, it's not really like Alice... I wouldn't say it's kind of like Alice in Wonderland because it's...
it's really not.
Because Alice in Wonderland, like, it has other... You know, they also have sequels and other books to them. But I could say that every interpretation, even if they're good or bad, like there's some difference between Alice in Wonderland, you know, and other people's interpretations of it.
Yeah.
But every single one is trying to call back to the first movie. Every single one. Whenever you tell something about Oz, it's always going back to that. And I'm like, can we stop? That movie is like, it's going to be about a century old soon.
If you think about it, that's kind of crazy.
I don't know. Like, oh my god. It's insane.
Anyway, what did you think of the first Wicked? What did you think? Because I genuinely loved it.
Okay, so
even though I've never seen the musical.
So yeah, we're talking about the first one, second one, and then comparison. I saw the play on Broadway. Lucky me.
I only heard the musical songs. That's all I heard,
and I don't remember much from it. Maybe because I just wanted to go see. What's the big one that was out right now?
Hamilton?
No, Hamilton wasn't out yet.
It was like Book of Mormon, maybe?
Book of Mormon, I think, was the big one. And I was like, why do I go see Book of Mormon? And then, like, we're going to go see Wicked. So I'm just like, okay. I was already like, okay, let me just go see this. I kind of knew a little bit about Wicked from Zeitgeist. And then when I saw it, I was like, okay. It wasn't anything really spectacular or anything, even to my young, impressionable brain. It was just like, okay, happy to see something on Broadway. I thought I was going to, be blown away, but I wasn't. And I only remember 2 songs. I only remember 2 songs from the musical. Well, that's pretty much it.
I've heard like a couple songs.
No, I heard the whole soundtrack. There's only 2 songs in there that register to me as like,
which I get
being,
known for
decent. Yeah.
But this was the first time we ever saw, like, the movies, because we had found out about them, and the reason we didn't do it when it first came out...
Because you wanted to watch them together.
Because it's basically 2 parts. It's a 2-parter. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it shouldn't have been a 2-parter, but then again, it would have been 4 hours, so I get why they did that. But I wanted to wait till both came out, so that way we could watch them both together. Because it just felt fitting to me.
If you could have just done this as one movie, it would be better. It would be tighter. It would be more focused. Because sitting through 4 hours was very grueling.
I already get that. It was
very grueling. And this is coming... And, like, I'm not a fan of Wicked. But I was willing... I was willing to sit and watch these movies. Because I was like, well, this is a film adaptation.
Sometimes the films are better.
And I'm going to judge it as a film.
Compared to the original material, which I get.
Yes. And even then, it still had the same exact problems. Maybe, I don't know if it's because it's from a translation error between the theater to the screen, or if it's the exact same problems that they already had, in which I don't really buy anyone's connection with each other.
I can sense the connection between Ariana and Cynthia Erivo.
I don't. I thought it was phony. I thought it was fake. It felt fake. It felt like...
I can understand, like, the Nessa and Bach part, that kind of seemed a bit forced, but everything else didn't seem that bad.
Fake. The friendships felt fake. The romances felt fake. Like, and you had time to
develop them.
You had time to want me to like get it, but it didn't for me, and that's one thing. And another thing is...
I will say this before you continue. Do you want to know how much the budget was for this first one?
Oh my god, you're gonna kill me. $250 million.
It was $150 million for the first one.
Okay, I thought it was more. But...
Continue.
Man, another thing, like, that just, like, I guess just was just for this film, and not because of the production design, because, whatever.
They had a lot of budget to work with, so...
Yeah, but they didn't know how to light it.
I will admit a lot of stuff was a bit bright, though.
Dude,
the color saturation was a bit off. I don't know if that was just coincidence.
No, like, there would just be points where, like, it would be the color coordinated, like, either one color that's so bright that you can't see, like, the detail of, like, the set or the clothing that they're wearing. Or, like, it would be so bright, like, from, like, all of the not to natural sunlight, all of the whatever, the whatever they put in, like VFX, like lighting or something like that. It wasn't natural light. Let me tell you that.
I will say this though,
and it made it so hard to focus on. It made it so hard to focus on like people, like, you know, when you were showing off big crowds and you're showing off their big dance moves, don't fucking brighten the screen up so where there's lens flares and shit. I can't see what the fuck they're doing.
Which I can understand. I understand that in a sense. I can agree with you on that. And
you're shooting a whole crowd. Why can I only see like 3 people in front of me?
I will say this though, some parts of the color saturation I could tell, and some parts, like, I couldn't tell. Some parts are very obvious. You can tell that they fucked up the color saturation.
Which is a shame, because the choreography is good. It's really, really good.
An example of it would be when Elphaba is in that little section near the beginning with the little light mobile. You know what it's called? You can kind of tell the color saturation, like, right there specifically in that section. Like, something's kind of off, and a little bit before that. Some parts you could kind of tell. Like, that was the one part where I could kind of tell, okay, I can see where Jay's coming from with this.
Like, I could.
And you could obviously see it in that one.
It was just... And then it wasn't... It was just also that sometimes they just shot scenes where... Sometimes... Hello.
Hi, KK.
Sometimes they would just shoot the scenes, like, when it was, like, you know, when it wanted to become more darker, sometimes just the environments just kind of blended together. And I'm just
they kind of did. A little bit.
Why? Like, you're translating this to film, which when you're on stage, you only have, like, the one interchangeable set. And that's you know, that's the magic of, like, musical theater, is that you could change the set, you know,
while it's going
on.
That's, like, the appeal of that. Like,
yeah, that's the appeal of the theater.
It doesn't break the illusion. It just, you know.
But here, I'm like, you're going to different, you know, sets. You know, most of them are CGI, because, goddamn, you're not gonna build, like, fuck the Emerald City. But, like, dude, it's so, like, the sheen of the set is what's fucking, like, you know, messing up your lighting and making it worse. So, I don't know. I don't know. It was distracting. It was very, very distracting. And again, I did not buy the chemistry of any of anything. I didn't buy any. I didn't buy where the point where they were becoming quote unquote friends, because I thought it was just another, like, thing where, oh, it's another, like, foamy thing where she just wants it her way. And you know what? She does get her fucking way. Nobody gives a shit about Elphaba. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared. Okay? And, like, I can understand, like, oh, okay, like, nobody gave a shit. Now I can understand her villain arc. Like,
and her slight redemption arc.
Yeah, but why should I care when the movie didn't put in enough effort for me to want to see her get revenge? Because I don't think these characters are so unlikable that I would want to see revenge happen to them. I just found them annoying. I don't know. Maybe I just saw it on stage and I was like, I don't really care. I didn't really care for it back then. I do not care for it here. And I think that these films are so overly long.
And hyped. Overhyped or no?
Probably, yeah. But I think they're so overly long that you don't need to have this in 2.5 hours. You don't need to have it in 4 hours. You could have just had it as an hour and a half. Would have been fine. Would have been great. You would have had to cut so many songs. Let me tell you that. You would have had to cut so many songs. But that's the good thing about it being, you know, adapted for film. You could have just adapted it for a film. The play is right there. It's not going anywhere. If people wanted to go see the play, they could go see the play and have the extra songs.
And that I also get.
You could have that, but I don't think it worked. I don't think it worked as a first film. I don't think it worked. And spoiler, I don't think it worked for a second film.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's focus on the first one first before we go off into like a tangent land like you tend to go down. But personally for me, I could sense some of the chemistry in some of the characters. Definitely, I can sense it in Ariana and Cynthia's performances. I feel like they could have become friends a little bit quicker than they did, in my opinion. Like, it should have... I personally feel like it should have happened a little bit sooner than it did. That's one thing I will say. But once they actually start to form a friendship, that's kind of when it gets good, in my opinion. In a sense, like when they go to like the Oz... I'm going to just call it a dance. When they go to like the dance, that's when you kind of notice the friendship taking off. And I had to explain that to Jay because he was like...
You had to explain that to me because I wasn't buying it.
I know.
Because I was just like, no. You're suddenly like, well, I suddenly feel bad that I suddenly turn all of my friend group against her. I'm like, when did that fuck did that come from?
That pissed me off.
Like, where the fuck did that... Like, that made no fucking sense. So that I didn't buy that. So I didn't buy it when they were like, when they were still friends. I didn't buy it. Like, fucking, she was gonna turn and, like, appease the wizard, because of course she was.
That did piss me off, though.
I'm like, of course she was gonna do that. And you know what? Maybe it was an original. I don't remember enough to fully know, like, if that thing was in the original.
I don't know for certain either.
I forget. But, again... Film adaptation. You could do this story. Like, you could tell it more in a way that made sense. And you could make tweaks to it. It's not like you can't, it's not like, oh, it needs to be, the most faithful adaptation ever. You can make tweaks to it. It's your fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's still your movie. You can write the movie. You can write the movie. You don't have to do line per line for the screenplay.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I don't get, the whole, you have a film, you can do whatever you want with it. Yes, it's an adaptation. But you could still do stuff that makes it more believable.
Exactly. You can do more to kind of make it a little bit more easier to digest, kind of deal. And I can understand the length of the movies being intimidating for people, because they were kind of intimidating to me at first. That's why I was like, yeah, we're watching these in one go. I don't want to do half and then wait to do the other half, because I feel like that's going to drag it on more. Some movies I feel like you can do in one go and some you can't. This is one of those ones where in the way that they decided to do it, where they made it like part 1, part 2, that we kind of I feel like that would have been better instead of just waiting a little bit. And I know you don't like doing that, but I feel like this is the last movie we're going to do that with.
If you're going to do a part 2 to something, you had to have... You had to have needed it. It's so hard to do something like that, because you really need it. If you cannot tell your story within 2.5 hours... Or like that, that's my quote-unquote limit for telling an epic story. But if you can't tell your story for 2.5 hours, you better have some damn entertaining content in the second one.
Yeah.
And the third one, whatever, if you want a fucking trilogy.
But personally, you
better have enough story. Or you could have wrapped it up. You could have wrapped it up. I don't know. If you were to do this, how they used to do, with intermissions. Shoot it as
they did a
3-hour movie, and then have an intermission in the middle, and then come back to the rest.
That's basically what the play is, honey.
People don't want to do that. People don't want
That's what a play is.
Yeah, honey. That's what a play is. Why didn't they just do it as a play? Why didn't they just film it, and then like
So film the entire thing as the actual play.
Yeah, I thought that would have been like, I thought that would have been cool. Like, honestly, to do that. But again, it's more profitable to do this shit twice. So, and I would be more.
This is father.
Yes, and I would be more forgiving for it if I was actually sucked into it and it actually like was better than the musical.
I know this was not. I know you're not that big into Wizard of Oz. I personally
I liked that first movie. I liked that first movie a lot, like a lot.
You just feel like you didn't want to know anything else. You just wanted to know.
I just think it's pointless, and nothing has been good about any of these. Nothing has been good of anything of these spinoffs. Nothing. I
personally
seen a good
liked
one.
it.
I've not seen a good one since.
I will definitely say this. I personally liked this. It does have its problems. I will say that. It does have its problems. And I do agree with most of the problems that you did say. Like, I get that. Most of the stuff that, honestly, you said, I agree with you. Some of the relationships do kind of seem a little fake. Like, the whole subplot with Nessa and Bach, that was kind of a bit much. I feel like he kind of just joined the relationship to feel included and then eventually broke it off, and then she got pissed and then he became Tin Man is essentially what happened. But some of the other ones I could kind of understand. I'm still surprised that Elphaba and the Scarecrow got together. I was not expecting that at all.
What happened at the end of the musical?
I didn't even know that.
It did.
That's why I said I never saw the original musical, so I didn't know that.
It's basically a whole again. It's a subversion of one of the Wicked Witch when we told her side of the story.
Which I think is an interesting perspective.
Of course, it ended with an ending of the Scarecrow was actually her secret boyfriend, and they go off and live happily ever after.
That definitely sounded like fan fiction.
Yeah,
that I will say.
That the whole thing is fan fiction.
It's modern fan fiction.
Well, no, because it wasn't it's an old ass musical. It's an old ass musical.
You get my point.
It's an old ass. It's a book. It was a book first of all.
I know.
So
that, everything starts off from a book most of the time.
Everybody starts off with a book or a screenplay or somewhere, and then it gets whisked away into something.
Yeah.
But I just didn't care. Even the song that are supposed to be digestible musical theater. I was more when the choreograph when I could see it was good. It's just the songs again, were just
because to me
not hit. They weren't hitting. They weren't hitting for me, and they were just kind of well, these are kind of the same forgettable songs that I would say that from the musical. And then you get to Big Showstopper with Gravity, which I thought was sung good and stuff like that. It's just the visual
executed.
I don't know, the visual that. There's the whole visual of her on stage, and when what's her name?
Glinda?
No.
Ariana?
No, her name. What's the original actress who played her?
I know who you're talking about. It was Elsa.
Yeah, what's her name?
I don't remember.
Idina Menzel?
Yes.
When Idina Menzel, when she's when she's getting lifted off, and that visual of it looks like her cape, but it's just a big drape.
Yeah.
And it's just her getting lifted off, and she's seeing that she's flying and she's hitting those high notes. So that is impactful. And here it's not.
It's still impactful, but not as much as that.
It's not. It's just what's her name?
Sylvia Arethro.
It's just her vocals that are carrying it, which are great vocals, but it's not great imagery that's being put to that song at all. So I don't know. I can attest that the singing is good. It's just nothing special. There's not.
Some people can do different performances better than others. Not everyone's going to be able to hit the same notes that someone else can.
I'm not asking her to hit the same exact notes. That's why they're different. They're different. They're different voices. They're different pitches. They're different tones. So I'm not expecting her to hit the same notes. And I'm saying that they sung it well. I'm just saying, like, you know, it wasn't impactful to me because I didn't care. I didn't care about, like, you know, about their relationship, you know, and it wasn't grabbing me in any way. You know,
I get that. Like,
it wasn't grabbing me with, like, also just wasn't grabbing me with atmosphere because, like, everything was just, again, it was very shiny. It was very, I think it was very overproduced. So it wasn't, like, grabbing me with any, like, atmosphere that Oz could give me. Because, like...
Literally the best parts in the entire film.
It looked...
Like, can I finish this?
No, it looks like, what is it? Oz the Great and Powerful. It looked like that a little bit. And it was like... Man, that Oz the Great and Powerful is such an ugly movie.
It was very dark.
It was very ugly. It reminded me more of that, which you don't want me to remind you of Oz the Great and fucking Powerful. Let me tell you that right now.
Because that's the prequel of the prequel.
Yeah, you don't want me to remind me of James Franco, okay?
I will say this, though. Personally, my favorite of the sets that they did, honestly, was all the flower fields. Like, that was, like, the best fucking part when they were zooming in and out of the flower fields and the close-ups of some of them. Like, that was fucking gorgeous. Like, those were my favorite, like, set pieces.
That's in, like, 5% of these.
Well, what about you? Like, what about you? Did you have a favorite...
flower fields?
Like, did you have a favorite set that you actually liked out of these?
I don't know.
That wasn't just bright lights and looked too shiny. Come on. Give us some kind of positive, at least. You can't just list all the negatives.
Set that I liked. There was a concept in, like, one of the worst lit scenes that was in the cafeteria. And then the spinning wheel came up. I'm like, that's a good thing to have. Like, you know, spinning wheel.
Spinning bookshelf.
Yeah, spinning book.
That was cool,
Yeah, that was cool. Then it's like, oh, but then it's like, it's not... Like, you know, because, you know, it'd probably be, like, really, really fucking difficult to choreograph, even though it's probably possible for it to be choreographed. But, like, it's, like, half, like, actual choreograph. And then it's like, oh, I could tell you just, you know, you CG'd.
You only CG'd, like, a little bit. Like,
yeah.
It was, like, that one part that was noticeable.
It was, like, that, but, again, immersion, you know... Go big or go home. And, like, most of the people went home.
Oh, my gosh.
Because it was just, I don't know, whoever did, I'm sorry, but whoever did the lighting, oh, my God, they need to go home.
I will definitely say that, like, some of the lighting was kind of bad.
It's not just in these movies. It's in, like, a lot of movies. It's in a lot of movies and that have been recent. And I'm just like, whoever's doing this lighting, can they get laid off or something?
Jay.
Like, I'm sorry, it's not helping your movie when everything is so brightly lit.
I get it.
It's not helping.
Like, don't wish they were laid off. That's mean.
Or they need to get better at their job.
Just say that.
They need to get better at their job. Oh my God. But yeah, okay.
Do you have anything else to say before we do the second one? Because other than the points you said, I genuinely still like the movie, even with the flaws that it had. I do agree with most of the stuff you said. You basically said most of what I was going to say.
You can see past those flaws. I do not, because I was not entertained by
it. And I get that. I get it. But I'm going to give my rating first, if that's okay.
Sure, get your rating while I go get water for the next rant.
Can you grab me one? I'm going to need one too.
Sure.
Okay, so for Wicked, I'm honestly going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. I think, despite the flaws, which kind of bring it down a little bit, because if the flaws weren't too noticeable, I would have probably gave this like an 8 or like an 8.5. But personally, I would give this a 7.5 with the flaws and stuff like that. Like, I still think it's a great movie, and I do genuinely like musicals like this when you're, like, doing it in a film. I think it makes it a lot more immersive, but the flaws are not... You couldn't hide... They didn't hide them very well. Like, some of the flaws, like, if you really paid attention, you could notice. But some of them, like, it was way too obvious. Like, some of the lighting especially was pretty bad in some parts. Not all of it, but, like, some parts.
I like that you noticed, you don't notice things until I point them out because
I didn't think about it. I'm just enjoying the movie.
Yeah, you just... Mari is a simple moviegoer and will just enjoy movies just to enjoy movies.
And then
we're not reviewing this, by the way, but we saw Primate, like, earlier today, and they enjoyed it. And I was just like, man, this is so fucking stupid. These characters are so fucking stupid. It's pissing me off. And, like, Mari was like, just enjoy the movie.
I was just saying, like, at least just... I was just saying, like...
No, I'm not expanding my disbelief right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You could have done it in a different way. Like, you kept, like, literally whispering to me, this movie sucks. This movie sucks. And I'm like, honey, I understand that. But can I watch it so I can get an opinion?
You know what? I'll give it this. It's better than Primate. Okay? How about that? Wicked
gosh.
Part 1 is better than Primate.
Oh my gosh, Jay. I'm surprised you didn't even want to review that. I was surprised.
I don't.
But then again, I get it.
To say about it. It was just dumb. Okay?
Anyway, I give it a 7.5, even with the flaws.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm not very kind. I'm not going to be very kind today.
Please don't give it a 2.
I'm not going to give it a 2.
Good.
Okay?
What are you giving it?
Because there was something. I'm sure fans like it. I'm not a fan. Okay? I've only...
We get it,
I only
honey.
like 2 of those goddamn songs. I think it's too long.
We get it.
Even as a play, I think it's too goddamn long. It was fine. I think, like, the most... I guess I should save this for, like, the, I guess I should have saved this for the outro. But I think the costumes are really great. If there's one thing I give it to them, it's like, I think this one for costume design or something.
The costumes were beautiful, though. I will definitely also say that. Like, Glenda's outfits were beautiful, honestly. Like, I loved her outfits. I still think pink was better for her than the blue. The blue was kind of much.
Yeah, if there's something I can give credit for, it's the costume design in those movies. The costume design is great.
Definitely. So what do you give the first one out of 10?
Spoiler, I'm going to give them both the same rating.
Can we? Okay, fine. Do we want to just do it near the end?
Yeah, you could go ahead and do it at the end.
I'll give my ratings...
Are you going to give them both the same rating?
I don't know yet.
Okay, well...
Why did you say you were going to give them both the same rating now?
Yeah, I am. It's okay.
So I guess I'll just say...
the second one, then.
I'll say my ratings first, and then he can just say his at the fucking end. You ruined it. You should have just not said that part.
No, because they would have just been like, oh, well, I'm just giving them the same rating, so...
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to talk about part 2 then, since Jay apparently decided to do that.
I just realized.
What now?
Which they probably won't. They probably won't never do it. Please never do a Book of Mormon movie. Please never do a Book of Mormon
Jay.
Someone
Jay.
never ever do it.
Jay, we're not talking about
Someone
that.
never do that.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. Jay, we get it.
Okay.
Anyway,
Next one.
we're going to talk about Wicked for Good. I don't know why they just didn't call it part 2.
Because everybody likes For Good. It's the best goddamn song in the whole play.
Anyway, so this is basically part 2 of Wicked. Mm-hmm. I don't know why they just didn't call it part 2. So, essentially, it's basically a mix of the later half of Wicked and...
the second half of Wicked, okay?
and basically part of The Wizard of Oz. Like, part of it. Not the whole thing, but part of it.
Some shit. I got some shit.
Fun fact about the second movie. It was $165 million. That's it.
Cool. It still does not show. Okay.
Anyway, so do you want me to explain what Wicked 2?
It's a continuation. It's the story. Okay.
Basically, yeah. So you get
we literally just spoiled the ending, so it doesn't really matter. If you've seen Wizard of Oz, the ending there, boom, that's the ending.
Duh, Jake. Duh. All right. So, what did you think of Wicked for Good? Because I feel like as a second part, I feel like it was all right. It's not as good as the first one, in my opinion.
Everybody's been saying that, by the way.
Really?
Everyone's saying, yeah, part 2 is not as good as part 1. But I think everybody says that about every single musical.
Well, not everything, but I will say this, though.
I think that's the majority.
I will say this, though. Both are good in their own aspects. But the first part's still better, in my opinion. At least based on what we already talked about. But the second one's still good, in a sense. It's just good in different ways. So, what I liked about Wicked for Good, I did like the songs in this one a little bit more than the first. Like the wonderful song that Oz and Glenda are singing, I thought was like the best song in there. And then a lot of the songs toward the end were really good. A lot of them were reprises, I think, from the first movie, which... Why are you saving all your reprises for the second movie? Like, you gotta split it up between both movies. That makes more sense in my opinion. The costume design, like Jay said, is also really good. In my personal opinion, Glinda looks better in pink. She does not look good in silver and blue. In my personal opinion. It made her look... It didn't really go with her, in my opinion. The pink kind of goes with her. It's kind of like a watermelon. She's pink, Elphaba's green. They come together and become a watermelon. And when they do the blue and the silver, it doesn't look good. It does not look good in my personal opinion. But that's just me, personally. But minus that, the costumes were fantastic in this one. Elphaba got a lot better. And I will say this also. Elphaba got a lot better in this movie. She got a lot more, like, tough in this movie. Like, I liked her outfits in this one a lot better than the first one. She had a way better cape. I like that she had a cape. That kind of worked for her. Like, capes look good for her. Minus the colors of Glinda's outfits. I do think Glinda's outfits were good. In my opinion. Like,
you're really scratching.
Stop! I'm thinking!
You're like, okay.
And I do like how they did the designs of all of the Wizard of Oz characters. I'm sad we don't get to see what fucking Dorothy looks like. I don't know if they just... I'm trying to wonder...
I told you.
If they just green screened her, or if they actually had someone play her. Which I don't know. I'm actually going to look that up.
Mari, it's still owned by MGM.
So you don't think they just green screened her?
They're still owned by MGM. I think there's still a contract dispute. It's like you can do Wizard of Oz, but you can't use our main character.
That's
not stupid because there's other books.
I get it.
But again, like. I guess, but Judy Garland is dead, so I don't know why the copyright still stands.
I don't know either.
My thing about copyright is if you when the person dies, then all copyright should cease.
Honestly, facts.
Like honestly, I don't.
Depending on situation, most situations, yes. It kind of depends on the situation.
No, all copyright should cease.
Anyway, Lion basically looked. He didn't look too spectacular, but he didn't look bad. Mm-hmm. Compared to the other lions we've fucking seen in films the last, 4 years? He looks better than most of them. He looks better than fucking Mufasa. He looks better than Scar from the new Disney live actions.
That's not saying much.
He looks way better.
That's not saying much, okay?
But I'm just saying, he looks way better than most of them.
That's not saying much.
Shush. And I liked how the Scarecrow and the Tin Man were designed. They both turned out pretty amazing.
I thought the CG in both of these were just meh.
Yeah, the CG itself is kind of meh, but I did like how they did the costumes for both of them.
But
Okay, so that's basically all I got to say right now. What do you have to say about Wicked for Good then, since you obviously have stuff to say?
Well, similar to the first one, honestly. I think it's too goddamn long.
We get it, honey.
I think it's too long. Again,
you already said that. We get it.
Especially the fucking romance. Oh my god, they try to finish off these two romances in there, and it does not fucking work. It does not work. Oh my fucking god.
Stop putting romance when there doesn't need to be one. I know they had that in the original story, but you could have written it to be better. You could have written it to be better.
Oh, definitely.
Oh my god, the fucking the cameos relating to the original film.
Quietness from
I did not care for.
You didn't like the second one?
I did not care for those references.
To what?
I know they had a little bit of it in the first movie.
The references to Wizard of Oz?
Yes. Like,
duh, it's from the same universe.
I get it.
They kind of have to reference it in a sense.
I get it, but I think it even, from my memory, I think it was even kept to a minimum in the play. Here, it's just like...
A lot of it.
It's like takes over it.
Like the last half of this movie was kind of Wizard of Oz. But they didn't specifically label it as that.
I don't understand. I don't...
You don't get it.
My thing is, why do that when you could have developed the characters more?
Yeah. That is fair.
Like, why do that?
Also, the fact that literally she took Elphaba's sister's shoes. What did I find interesting? They didn't even make the shoes red. They literally just kept them the same color. Which I was genuinely...
No, they did. They can't do the red shoes either.
Really?
Gets copyrighted.
How is that copyrighted? It's a color!
Shoes, yeah, the red...
How do you copyright a color?
You can copyright shoes, probably, the red shoes. Like, because that is also part of...
What?
If it's a part of Dorothy's character, then they have to copyright the shoes. Okay? So you can't have...
That pissed me off.
But
that just pissed me off.
You can't make it so that, she's flying, but they're burning her feet, so it kind of looks like red shoes. I'm like... You guys are being fucking corny and phony again. I don't like that. I don't like that, okay?
That's probably their way around it.
Yeah, but like, dude, this is like, and then I was like, I had to, like, I had to put a hit out on your sister because to lure you out. I'm sad that's
how Nessa died. That made me so sad.
I think that's how she died in the original.
Are you serious?
I don't think that's how she died in the play. I don't remember the fucking play.
That still made me sad.
I don't remember the fucking play. I just remember fucking Fiyero, and that was more of a plot line than the play. I think. I don't fucking remember. But yeah, I don't think the cameos in here, the quote unquote plot line of cameos in here were that integrated that well, okay? I really don't.
That's still
crazy.
Are
you looking at the shoes?
No.
I was like, yeah, the shoes are copyrighted. You can't have the red ruby slippers.
Okay. I actually wanted to look this up because I was curious if they green screened Judy Garland in this. So, technically... She is in the movie, but the director intentionally kept her face hidden, showing her from behind her for a distance to keep focus on Elphaba and Glenda.
It's not actually Judy Garland.
Yes, but I'm just like...
They didn't AI Judy Garland in here, okay?
No, I'm actually looking this up.
They didn't green screen. They didn't take her image.
No, it was a real person.
Yeah, I know.
They played her as a real person.
Sure, yes.
She was played by Bethany Weaver.
But you can't... Okay.
But I'm, like, looking it up because I was curious.
Okay, I get it. But, like, still, you can't do anything about that because she's copyrighted.
But, yeah, basically, from what I looked up, Dorothy was intentionally kept hidden.
That doesn't make it any better.
But still, like, why couldn't you at least, like, show her?
You're not giving Dorothy any fucking character. Because she has her own fucking movie to be that character.
But you should still at least show her. At least, like, once. At least her face once.
Yeah. Well, fucking... No, you don't need to do that. You really don't. Because that's not the point of Wicked. Wicked is not about Dorothy. Wicked is not about Dorothy. It's about fucking Glenda
and Elphaba.
and Elphaba. Okay, those are the two characters that I should care about, but I don't. Okay, that's my concern. Why are we giving so much energy and thought and energy into these cameos and how they fit into the original Wizard of Oz when you can't even let me care about these two characters that don't have any fucking chemistry? Okay, that's all I wanted. I just wanted a nice little musical that wasn't too goddamn long, and like. I could care about like this. I could care about this world. I could care about like another interpretation of Oz that was actually good. You know.
I get it.
And I'm saying, and I'm not judging on people's fun. It's like, oh, this is the best musical I've seen in years. Good for you. You probably were a fan of the original. I'm not. Okay. I can imagine that this is that because you guys saw fucking Cats and you were like, oh my god, that was so terrible. No good musicals are ever going to come out ever again. And then fucking Wicked came out, made $1 billion. You guys are happy. You guys are happy, okay? Now, I can imagine, now you guys could be happy, you know? People can be happy.
I like how you're just like...
And more people can...
I like how you're slightly pitying people.
And more people can be happy when, like, you know, they haven't seen the original musical, and this is going to be their gateway to go see it. Or to go see other movie musicals. Or to go see musicals
I will say this,
Broadway.
though. I do have this question. Do you think you would like to see more movie musicals? Kind of like Wicked, but better? Because I would love to see more of that.
There is musicals that have done good, that are good movies. There are musicals that are good movies. I've told you this before specifically. There are good musicals that are and aren't from Broadway. And most of the musicals you see that are not from Broadway, and they make it to Broadway anyway because they're that damn good. And like, you know, comparatively, like Broadway musicals that go to the movie theaters, I have a harder time like having that perfect adaptation. Because then things get lost in translation, or they just don't translate well enough to the screen to have a full movie there.
Yep.
Because these plays are long. They're like fucking 4 hours long.
Well, technically this one was 4. If you think about it, it's technically 4 hours.
Yeah, but like you could trim it down. Like,
and that I will agree on with you.
Trim it.
They could have trimmed a little bit of this, like both movies down. Personally, I definitely agree with you on that one.
What is the best, like, quote unquote, like
movie musical
adaptation that was a musical first? I
don't know for certain. One of the better ones I've seen definitely was Sweeney Todd. That was definitely a good one.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd.
But that's like the first one I think of.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
That's
like,
the one you can
Todd.
think of.
But I'm trying to think of anyone else's like stuff.
There probably is other ones, but
you know,
I definitely want to see more.
I can't count. I can't count Hamilton because that's just pretty much a taped live version of the show. Like, a lot of these are just taped live versions that you can go and already go see.
I will say this. Eventually, I would like to do this as a podcast. I heard the 2007 version of Hairspray was supposed to be really good. And I've seen clips of that.
I've heard that was great.
That's probably one of the better ones. I haven't seen the whole movie, but I've seen clips of it, and it looks really good.
I've heard that was great.
I would love to see that with you, though. I feel like that'd be a fun one.
I feel like these were like, I heard also West Side Story was really, really good. Although I think that was an older movie, and then Broadway, and then
maybe eventually we can do some other ones because I would I definitely will say this. I would love to do the 2007 Hairspray with you as a podcast. That would be so fun to do. Like, I would enjoy that so much because I think that's my favorite version of Hairspray that's come out. Mm-hmm. It's so good. Mm-hmm. From what I remember. Like, from the clips I have seen, it looks really good, and I love the songs in it.
Maybe I'm just thinking, like, really, am I only going to compare
those two specifically, I think, were the best ones that I personally have seen, or at least, like, seen parts of. Mm-hmm. So, I will say that for certain, but that's just me. Mm-hmm. All right, I'll give my rating, and then you can give all your ratings together. So, for the second one, basically, I would give the second one a 6.5. It doesn't have as many flaws as the first one, But I feel like they kind of dawdled on a little bit with, like, some sections. Why did we need to see where Elphaba was hanging out, like, the whole time? Like, she basically was in a fucking treehouse. I don't know where the fuck she was at, though, but I'm surprised we even had that even be talked about. Like, this could have been shorter than the first one. The first one could have been 2 hours. The most this should have been was like an hour and a half. That I will agree with you on. I don't think this needed to be 4 hours. I heard that, Jay. I'm pretty sure the mic probably heard that.
Sure. Okay.
If that heard that, I'm going to be like, honey, why did you do this?
Whatever.
Anyway, I give it a 6.5. I still think it's good. Is it better than the first one? No. But it's so... Stop laughing at me! Let me explain shit. Why are you laughing at me?
Because you're funny.
I'm trying. Okay? I'm really trying.
Especially since it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning.
We definitely got to go to bed in a minute. This is almost an hour. We have made this podcast almost an hour. That's still crazy. The fact that this is almost an hour.
Okay.
All right. And then as a whole, it's a 7.
It's a 7.
It's a 7. It's a middle between the both of them. Because in general...
what you remember, which is better?
First one's definitely better.
No, I'm talking about movie to play.
I definitely would remember this better just because I've never seen the fucking play, honey. I've told you this. I have only heard the soundtrack of the musical. That's it. I've never seen the play before.
Okay, well, just from the songs.
I recognize a lot of the songs. Some of them I don't even remember. I recognize at least 4 of the songs in the first Wicked. And for the second one, the only reason I knew some of the songs was because my Cookie Run game had a fucking Wicked update. That's the only reason I knew the later half of the songs. Was because of that.
Were the cookies singing it?
No! It was literally, they made a Glinda cookie and an Elphaba cookie. And they weren't even voiced by the characters in... They literally had, for the actual talking parts, they had, I think, 2... voice actresses that were literally nothing to do with it, but they still had the music and the singing voices in it.
Okay.
Because I was like, how are they going to fucking do that? And then I looked up the voice actresses. And I was like, half of them they're already like characters in the game that they're played by.
Okay.
But that's the only reason I knew how it went. And I liked
no one mourns the cookie.
I'm not talking about this. Jay, the update was like 2 months ago. They literally had it for like a 2-month period.
No one mourns the cookie.
No.
Gotta melt them with milk.
I give it a 7 as a whole. Can you give your ratings, please, so we can go?
That sounds more entertaining, actually, if this was the cookie ranking.
Maybe I can show you that later.
Okay.
Would you like me to show you that later?
Maybe.
You're
your
gonna rate,
anticipation is...
So you're going to rate both the movies and then both of them as a whole and then as separate. So...
Well, it's basically I'm giving them both the same score.
What's your rating then?
Okay.
You are giving me so much suspense over your fucking rating.
Okay, well, I'm not a fan.
I know that.
I'm not
Bean,
a fan.
you have said that for like 5...
Not a fan.
You have said that for like an hour.
Of these movies.
Jay, so you have literally said this for an hour. We get it.
I know, but I gotta hammer it into you.
Just say your rating.
Because then you're gonna be like, oh, why am I giving them both a 4? Yeah.
You're giving them both a 4?
Yeah, why would I give them both
I'm glad you didn't give them a 2, but a 4?
Yeah, why would I give them both a 4?
At least give it a 5 or a 6.
I'm not doing that.
Why?
Because it didn't, it's...
Okay, besides the fact that you didn't like them, why are you giving them a 4? Like, give me an actual reason.
Because it could have been good. It could have been good. And I'm not shaming people who think that it is good.
I know that.
But to me, there was so much of like that. I guess it kept from the original that made it so bland to me that I'm just like, you kept all the blandness but didn't add any flavor. Actually, that's a good thing. You kept blandness but you didn't have any flavor. That's what's kind of...
You think of this now?
Yes, yes.
Jay, you could have thought of this for like half an hour ago.
I'm trademarking it. Okay, but...
Someone probably already trademarked that.
That's a good analogy for this.
Someone's probably already trademarked that.
That's a good analogy. Let me keep my analogy.
I get it.
Okay?
I'm just saying, someone probably already trademarked that.
I don't care. But yeah, basically I'm just like...
You give each individual one a 4.
Yes, because...
What do you give it as a whole?
4.
You give the whole... Okay, wait. So you give individually 4s, and then you rate the whole thing as a 4.
Yes.
Good Lord, Jay. I'm not judging you.
Sometimes I just like watching movies with you,
and then eventually podcasting it,
and then I'll podcast it and tell you how wrong you are. Like,
I don't care. Like, at least I get to do a podcast with you.
You are more forgiving to movies and pieces of media than I am.
Some people work really hard on their shit.
Yeah, some people do.
So you kind of got to give that credit.
And people who make good pieces of media and good, like, entertaining stuff work so much harder.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
anyway,
it's as simple as that.
All
You put care. You have to put genuine, loving care, not just in how it speaks to you, but also how it may speak to other people.
I get it.
So that, like, and I just don't think it went into. I just don't think it went into this project.
And that's fine.
This
is why I like doing the podcast with you, because sometimes we have differing opinions, and I like to know.
I don't care if I'm the controversial one. I don't. Okay,
that's fine.
I don't care if I have to.
You
be
fit
like,
that.
I didn't think the Wicked movies were good.
You fit that like mold more than me, honestly, and I like that. I like you're the gritty, like controversial, like bean.
Even then, I'm not really all that controversial. It's just.
But you know what I mean.
Just some things just don't.
You're more blunt
to me.
You're more blunt.
Yeah.
You're more like willing to shame movies, where I'm just like, but people worked hard on this. I should give them a little bit more credit.
People worked hard, yeah, sure, but be entertaining.
Okay, all right. We have literally done this podcast fucking long enough. It is literally about to be 5 a.m. Do you have anything else to say before we end this and go the fuck to sleep? Oh, the costume design was amazing. Like you should have said, like, earlier.
It reminded me of cosplayers doing covers.
Really?
But
that's
in a professional way, I guess you could say, with with celebrities who are trained on, like hitting the notes their own perfect way.
Well, that's kind of an interesting way to put that.
Like, not as like bad singers, because I feel like if the singing was bad, people would hate this.
I'm surprised they picked Ariana Grande. I was surprised she actually got this role.
I'm not shocked by that.
She hasn't done I haven't seen her in an actual acting thing in so long, and I'm happy she still got it. I hope we get to see her in more movies. Please let her be in more movies. Please. She's already in Sam and Cat, and she was already in Victoria, so I'm happy that she's actually doing movies now.
I don't know. But
anyway,
this was their dream role, and I'm happy
they
got to. Yeah.
Damn, that's actually impressive.
Happy they got to play their dream roles.
That's a good thing. Anyway, that's basically going to be the end for the podcast tonight. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I am Ari.
I am Jay.
And we will be back with Better Call Saul. Love you guys. Bye.